Hey, I hope you're having a beautiful day. So, my business has generated almost $1 million in the last 5 weeks, 60 grand away from making a million. And I'm actually worried. And I wanted to make this video because it is super, super important to understand what's happening in the world right now. In a different world, this would be amazing. It would be like, oh my God, making $1 million a month, it's really sick. 400 grand in profit. Like, wow, this is amazing, right? But unfortunately, I'm worried for entrepreneurs who are coming up in the game right now. Why? Because of one thing, noise. Just to give you context, in the last few months, we've been working on this platform that essentially allows you to be able to build anything you want from scratch. Being a solopreneur, you have access to the same leverage that you would have if you had a six-figure a month business. Okay, you can build offers, you can build sales letters, you can build funnels, you can build thank you pages, you can deploy them in Go High Level. You don't need to be a funnel builder anymore. You just need to know how to speak English. You can even speak French, right? You can speak Spanish to this thing. You want to build ads, you want to build nurture assets, you want to be able to find help me find viral content in real estate. You want to find what's viral so you can sell it back to real estate agents or use it to create ads. Well, you can essentially just get it to find it here. We've essentially scraped the entire internet with all the different niches because we think that creating content is the gateway to creating wealth, right? Now, maybe you're like, oh, but I don't have a script. What I don't want to film it. Okay, perfect. You're like, can you give me the script based on let's use Tatiana Londano, who's from Montreal. I want to create more reels based on her reel, right? You ask it, it gives you the script, okay? And then you go to here and look at this. You can go to video and you can use Sora. By the way, this is not yet available API publicly, so we figure out a way to connect it. And you can just create content.
House, welcome to the Crown of Manhattan. $100 million penthouse perched above the skyline. Step out here. 360 degrees of city and river, all yours. Inside, it's pure elegance.
Literally, from idea, desire to output, 10 seconds, 1 minute. 1 hour, you can build more stuff than most people used to take millions of dollars worth of operational costs, expenses, team cost. Now all you need is just cook. Try Cook AI, right? But that's besides the point. In a world where you can do all that I just showed you, by the way, that was just like 1% of everything you could do on that platform. What do you think happens? What happens is noise, options open up. You want to become a real estate, you want to help the real estate market, or you want to become a real estate agent and build a theme page around real estate and sell homes in Montreal, in Dubai. I was speaking with a client helping real estate agents in Spain. You want to build a theme page for the Spanish market? Do it. Build a theme page with AI. You want to help businesses, construction, sell more roofs? Do it. You want to build an agency, an AI business? Do it, right? So in a world where you can do anything because skills, intelligence is a commodity, I think that more people are going to be at risk. Like, this is going to hurt more people than it actually is going to create value. Let me explain. And I'll use this weird analogy. When you are a man like me and you end up making a lot of money, right? You end up having the ability to attract more women because women are looking in a man, someone who can provide, someone who can take care of their family, right? That's like biologically, women evolved to literally want security. So if you can provide a great life, they're going to be attracted to you. But as a guy, if you can have all the women that you want, you'd think that that's actually a positive thing, but it's actually messed up because then you get stuck in not knowing who to choose. Well, guess what? That's what's about to happen in the world of business. So many people are about to have so many options of business they can create because they can create anything, even if they don't have a lot of knowledge. And you're going to be stuck in not knowing what to do because you have so many options, right? So for me, I wanted to make this video to talk about how do you survive and how do you find the signal, not the noise. In a world where it's just full of, oh my God, there's so much noise, especially in the AI space, that it's ridiculous. It's annoying, actually, right? I think the greatest skill that you need to have in a world of AI is the skill of knowing what to prioritize. Something that can give you leverage, but not just leverage. You need to be able to survive. You need to build a business that doesn't get replaced by OpenAI the next day, right? You need to build a business that doesn't get commoditized by this other company or this other AI developer. And then you need to focus on what? On sustainability and durability, right? The only way you can figure out how to do this is you actually are going to have to learn even more, even faster than you used to before. Because now the pace at which people are getting smarter and are acquiring leverage is something we've never seen before. Me, before AI, I was decent. Me, post AI, this AI shift, I might have to touch 1 billion. I might have to rejig my goals and be like, you know what? Why don't I become a billionaire? Literally. But before, it was impossible because I have so much leverage, right? So I wanted to talk to you guys and share with you guys the 5 main frameworks that I personally have started focusing on to know how to survive and how to make better decisions in the world of AI, right? And this is important for me, especially now that we're building software, AI software. I need to be able to know what are the features that we need to choose, okay? And as an example, this morning or last night, I saw this quote from Michael, Y Combinator. I think he was maybe like a co-founder or like a CEO of YC at some point. And he shared this insight, which is the amount of money your company can make is directly related to the amount of incremental revenue your customers believe you help them make. Revenue your customers believe you help them make is therefore a better KPI than your revenue because you can always figure out how to optimize your pricing over time. And your customers will almost never churn as long as your product continues to help them make a lot of money. Let me know if you can find an example of a company at scale where this is not true. I read this, I took a screenshot, and look at the speed of execution, okay? This is where things get super important. I read this tweet. Some people may have read this tweet. There are 72,000 people. I'm sure majority of them didn't do shit about it. What I did is I put it into AI. I'm like, hey, help me make the best decision for what should be our next feature for our AI platform. You need to understand that you can now you can use Cursor to build anything you want, right? But just because you can build anything you want doesn't mean you're going to be able to build something valuable that people are going to be willing to pay money for. So for me, after kind of like playing with AI around this thought from this guy, what I ended up coming down to is that our biggest value proposition with TryCook AI, this platform that I shared here, is actually going to be built-in distribution. What does that mean? It should be that you should go from 0 to your first $1 in less than 7 days. Okay? The single greatest value or component or variable that allows you to do this is if you're able to build an offer, build whatever you want on the platform, and be able to go here and get attention, distro, in the first 24 hours. Can you build an offer and have options like this? Can you create shorts and publish them and get views? Can you connect it with instantly and launch a cold email campaign in the following hour of you wanting to launch it instantly? Can you launch a paid ads campaign in less than an hour from you launching your offer, from you building your assets for your business, right? Now, this simple decision to focus on distribution is probably going to make our platform worth 8 figures, like in no time, okay? But for you who maybe are starting out and you maybe don't know how to focus or what to focus on, here are the main things that I'm going to need you to study and master as if your life depended on it. You're going to need to understand first principles thinking. What this idea means is essentially it's You boil reality down to what to like I don't know how to explain it, right? Elon Musk uses it. He was when he was entering the rocket, building rockets and shipping them and sending them to Mars or in the I don't know how you call it in space. There were a lot of people who had accepted the fact that it's expensive to build these rocket ships, right? And one of the things that was super expensive was, I think, was the batteries that they or like they it ended up coming up to a discussion around batteries, right? And he was like, "Well, why are these so expensive?" And people were like, "Well, it's because they're expensive." And it's like, "Well, are the underlying um, kind of like variables that are used to build this material or the materials used to build these batteries actually expensive?" They were like, "Well, no." Well, then, if the material isn't expensive to acquire, then why are the batteries expensive, right? And he kept on pushing back on a reality that people have accepted. You're going to need to start learning how to think from first principles, and the only way you're able to do that is you actually think on a physical math or human nature kind of like angle, where it's like you strip things down back to the core concept. Okay, that's first principle thinking. But anyway, go talk to AI, figure out what this is, right? Prompt to use: if I lost all context, what facts would still remain true? This is like the truth with a capital T. Okay? First principles thinking is super important. Second one is probabilistic thinking. Detach from certainty, think in odds, not outcomes. Frame decisions as bets. Assign rough probabilities to each path. So essentially, if you were to start this business and this business, what is the likelihood of you having the highest kind of like odds for this to work? You have to pick the path that has the highest odds for you to win. You cannot just pick something because Serge said you should start this business or that you should scale this offer or that you should leverage this platform. No. What is the path that has the highest likelihood of you actually making it? You need to start thinking in odds, right? Focus on EV, probability times upside minus probability and downside, right? So what is the probability and with the potential of it going up in a positive way? And what is the probability of it going in the other way, which is negative? And then you multiply, and whichever path is a positive thing, good to go, right? Used by Buffett, Chamath, and Bezos. If I made this same decision 100 times, what would the average outcome be? Okay? Inversion thinking. Instead of thinking about how do you make $1 million, ask yourself, how would I make sure that I never make $1 million? And this has made me so much money, guys. I talked about it in the latest video I posted on YouTube, where I went over everything that I've had to learn. And this is probably the single greatest. This is probably why we just did $1 million in almost in a month, right? Because instead of trying to make $1 million, I was like, well, if I would keep myself from making $1 million a month, what would I need to do? And I listed up all the things that would either happen or not happen, and I just avoided them completely, and then $1 million show up. It's as simple as that, right? A lot of people who make $1 million a month tend to make it complicated and make you feel like, oh, I'm this superstar, I'm special. No, it's just math. It's not that complicated, right? And then the next thing you need to understand is you need to understand leverage, right? Focus where the signal compounds. In noisy fields, the best filter is leverage. Intellectual leverage: ideas, systems, software, capital. Distribution leverage: brand, audience, reputation. Decision leverage: it's choices that multiply future options. Okay. And the prompt is essentially, which choice increase my leverage or optionality the most? You need to play games where the work you did today compounds, and then you get luckier over time as time passes. Okay. And the next one is, once you're going through all these things and you're actually in the world, running around, playing things, making killing it and doing all this stuff, noise becomes data when you reflect through time, right? Build decision feedback loops. Start journaling. Start doing tracking your metrics, your numbers. Start doing postmortems. If something good happened, think about it. What went right? What went wrong? If something went wrong, or if something broke, you also need to understand it, right? Track the quality of reasoning, not just outcomes. You don't want to get into a world where just because something good happened, you think that the process that led to it is good, right? I think they call it resulting, where you use the outcome to judge the process. But you should never do that, right? You should always make sure that the reasoning and the process is good, regardless if the outcome is good or bad, right? Over time, you'll learn your own cognitive biases, filters, and blind spots, right? Prompt is 6 months from now, how will I know if was the right call? What signal will prove it, right? I think thinking is about to be one of the greatest skill. The ability to think properly and the ability to make the right decision is about to be the single greatest variable that will separate people who end up creating so much wealth in the world of AI and those who end up having so many options but actually end up in a worse situation. Because, like I said before, just because you can do more things doesn't actually mean you're going to be more successful. And that's the sad reality. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I'm like, imagine people who don't know what to focus on. They are so cooked. They are so cooked. The noise, guys, like, I think it's danger. The danger of building a company in the world of AI is so crazy, because everybody's saying, oh, this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. If you cannot have your own judgment and make your own decision and think for yourself, oh, wow, good luck, right? But I literally just wanted to make this video because I think it's super important. Nobody's talking about the risk of AI and being able to build anything. And I want to share things that are more frameworks, things that you can go and learn and go deeper. You can take this literally transcript of this video and just ask AI to teach you these frameworks and these concepts in a way that you get to understand them. Because, of course, when I learned them, I didn't necessarily learn them in a video like this where it was rushed. But I think this was needed in the online space, or at least online, because nobody's talking about it. Everybody's saying build automations. I'm like, you guys just saw what is it? OpenAI just released their agent kit on OpenAI. Check this out. ChatGPT, or OpenAI, is now releasing the ability to build agents. So now, I don't know if they've released it yet. No, they haven't released it, but yeah, look at this. Oops. So now, anybody who has access to ChatGPT can now essentially start building workflows. So the skill you learn to acquire on N8N, now the same consumers, 700 million active users from OpenAI, can now start building workflows. So you acquired a skill that is commoditized, that anybody has access to, right? So if you can think for yourself and actually learn to understand how certain paths are not as sustainable and durable as others, then this is going to keep happening to you. You're going to acquire this skill. You're going to think, oh, I'm an AI automation expert, but then anybody can do AI automation because AI does actually most of the AI build, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's a scary time to be alive. It's a scary time to be alive, because what you think is cool is automated the next day, and you lose your job. It's crazy. It is so sad. It is scary. Anyway, I'm just going to keep sharing with you guys what's on my mind. I'm going to just keep freestyling these videos, but I'm so excited to get back into cooking. I hope you guys are, someone told me, hey, you haven't been consistent in putting out videos. Well, shit, I was busy trying to make an M, but now I'm back in the content seat, because I have so much to share, everything we've been working on. And yeah, if you guys are excited to work, message me on Instagram. Would love to see what you guys want to work on. And yeah, if you want to access the platform we've built, you can click the link below. You can book a call. You can see how we work when it comes to that. But love y'all. Take care. Please learn to think, and make the right decisions, and you'll change your life. Okay? Bye-bye.